The cartoons of Charlie Hebdo obviously gave a lot of offense to some Muslims.
Some cartoons people agree with, and there are some cartoons that people don't agree with, or they don't like it. Well, then, let them go to the justice system.
Every week we bring you Jihad Watch with Robert Spencer. With the release of Charlie Hebdo's latest edition since the terrorist attack on their offices in Paris last week, few media outlets were actually willing to post the satirical pictures of Muhammad. Is there a war on free speech being waged by Islam? Robert Spencer joins me now. Robert, let me start by asking you that very question. Is this an escalation in the war on free speech? What's going on?
Yeah, there's certainly a war on free speech. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation for years has been trying to intimidate the West at the United Nations into criminalizing what they call incitement to religious hatred, which essentially amounts to criticism of Islam. They want the free speech extinguished. The Charlie Hebdo attack was yet another assault in a different way to try to get the West to limit its free speech, and it's been very successful. The fact, as you mentioned, that most mainstream media outlets in the West are not reprinting the cartoons shows that the terrorists got what they wanted. They wanted to compel the West to conform to Islamic blasphemy laws, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Why are they capitulating?
Well, I think they're cowards, primarily. They think we don't want to endanger people, and certainly it's good. We should not try to put people deliberately into danger. But the question is, at what price is security? Do we give up freedom for security? Then we will be in an even more insecure position than we would have been otherwise. Instead, if we had stuck together and every newspaper outlet in the world or all over the West had we printed the cartoons, well, they can't kill us all, and it would have sent a strong signal that we are going to stand for freedom of speech as the foundation of a free society.
I like what Salman Rushdie said. I'll play this clip for you in a second, but essentially said, everyone loves to come out. They love to use those hashtags, Je suis Charlie. They love to say, we stand with you, and I've made this point before, but they're standing 10 feet away behind a pillar. Watch this clip, and I'll get your reaction to it.
I believe in free speech, but people should behave themselves. I believe in free speech, but we shouldn't upset anybody. I believe in free speech, but let's not go too far. The point about it is the moment you limit free speech, it's not free speech. The point about it is that it's free.
So I believe in free speech, but all of these buts, I think people are sick and tired of hearing them.
Yes, but that's all we're getting from our world leaders. Salman Rushdie is absolutely right in this. The whole foundation of a free society in which people of goodwill differ on fundamental questions is that we put up with each other, is that we do not try to violently subdue people who disagree with us. We have to put up, in other words, with a certain level of offense, that there are going to be people who say things and do things and believe things that we think are deplorable. Do we then kill them? Do we threaten to kill them? No. In a free and pluralistic society, we put up with it. This fundamental lesson, however, is being lost in this attempt to create Muslims and Islam as a special protected class beyond all criticism or mockery.
You know, I hate to sort of play into this cliche, but Christians often respond to criticism of them by saying, you wouldn't say that about Islam, would you? You know, and I think that's an important point because Charlie Hebdo really defied that logic. They really sort of took satire to new levels. Yes.
And see, the thing is that it's absolutely true. I mean, we know that the crucifix in the jar of urine was a great work of art that was celebrated and lauded in the New York Times and CNN and all over the place. You can still buy prints of it at the CNN website where they have, or the AP website, and CNN celebrates it as one of the 10 most influential artworks in the world. But they would never dare put a cartoon of Muhammad up there. Offending Christians is okay. As a matter of fact, it's welcome by the intelligentsia and by the mainstream. But offending Muslims and Islam is absolutely forbidden. This double standard, I think, comes ultimately from the idea that really the world's troubles are all the fault of the Judeo-Christian West, and that the non-Christian, non-Western people are always in the right. This is sort of a perversion of or really an outgrowth of the multiculturalist idea. And it's kind of a reverse racism, really, when you come right down to it.
And this narrative that's being perpetuated is about Islamophobia, about how it's sort of this victimhood narrative that we're now seeing. How do we squash that?
Well, we have to confront it, I think. And say, look, the freedom of speech is essential to a free society. It doesn't make any sense to limit it and then to still claim that it's free. And if you do not have it, then the ruling class can do whatever it wishes. And so if we are going to be able to stand up and defend ourselves against tyranny, there has to be the freedom of speech. All this crying of victimhood and about offended sensibilities is all very well,